Dyslexic Radically Radiant podcast, Series 1, Episode 5. On this podcast, we talk about dyslexia, meditation, art, and entrepreneurship. How you doing?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm going to jump right in.
Okay.
So this is a question about dyslexia. What strengths come with dyslexia that often go unnamed or unnoticed?
What strengths come with dyslexia that often go unnamed or unnoticed? Whew. You know, I set myself up for this because I was thinking on the drive over, what if she asked me something and I have absolutely nothing to say?
Okay.
You tell me.
Okay,
first,
I'll say.
And then I'll see if that sparks some kind of something.
Okay, perfect. So I feel like what is unnamed or unnoticed is the pivot. We're really good at pivoting because, like, for me, I'm so used to getting things wrong.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
I attempt, it's like I'm always like throwing an idea at the wall, and a lot of the times it doesn't. Like the other day, I know that this doesn't have anything to do with like entrepreneurship. Yeah, the pivot.
I love this word.
I said to Brad, because he wasn't going to make me food or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't eat. I'm like a scavenger with food.
Right.
And I was like, oh, we have some tuna. I could put tuna in with beets. And he was like, what?
Yeah, no, that sounds horrible. Tuna with beets, that sounds really bad.
Right? And I was like, oh, I got to pivot. Apparently that doesn't go. I'm so used to that. Yes. Like, I'm used to getting things wrong. Like, I just laughed. I'm
what
like,
did you pivot to?
I just got something in the store.
Oh my gosh.
I don't cook.
Funny.
I know.
That's funny.
It's okay. The pivot. Yeah.
Say more about the pivot, because I got the beets and the tuna. That came home really fast. That's really awful, Liz. But give me another example.
I don't know. Like with art, I'll just throw all kinds of different materials together. So when I was trying to figure out the bleeding tissue paper for the series that I'm in right now, with the meditations, I first got tissue paper that's just the tissue paper that you wrap a gift with, like that you put in a bag.
Yeah.
And glue. And I was putting that on because I did a tissue paper thing when I was really young. I was like 8.
Okay.
And I think that the tissue paper when we were young was the bleeding tissue paper type. It wasn't what we have now, right?
With all the toxic chemicals.
Yeah. I don't know what's in bleeding. I don't know what is in tissue paper now, but it doesn't adhere to paper the way it did when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So I practiced it with glue, and it was like thick, and it wasn't what I wanted at all.
Yeah.
And so I had to pivot and find tissue paper that worked for the product I wanted to make. So I just really feel like we're good at pivoting. Where we're like, it's like bump, like when you're bowling and you put the bumpers up, when you're a kid.
Yes.
And you're like, okay, what, just like bumpering along through life. It's like the pivot.
Oh my God.
You know?
I'm trying to think of when I pivot and how I pivot. Maybe I just pivot all the time and I don't notice.
It'd be interesting to like kind of.
All right, now I'm going to really pay attention because I do like that word.
Yeah.
Because I'm doing the pivot year. Do you know about that?
Oh, no.
Brianna Weiss. It's like little readings every day about pivoting. You're like, yeah. Oh. So that word has been on my mind.
Oh,
but I don't know that I have a good example. All right. No, that's all I got. I don't know.
All right. Well, anyway, I feel like it's unnoticed. And maybe that is like unnamed and unnoticed, which is kind of perfect.
Yeah.
Is that we're really good at the pivot and,
Yes.
So, okay, I have a question for you about meditation.
Okay.
How does creativity act as a form of nervous system regulation?
Well, creative flow is one of the main concepts of meditation, just being in the flow and not controlling something. How does creativity, though? I mean, for me, it's like how I am going to deliver content when I'm teaching, but I think I do it with my own meditation practice too. I mean, I'm just constantly creating, so it's hard for me to separate it out and say like this is how creativity intersects with meditation because it's just part of the way that I do everything. What did you think about that?
Well, I feel like my postcard meditation is
Yes, yes, yes.
how creativity is um, flows with like drawing on a postcard and just
Right,
kind of getting out of your head.
right,
Anytime
right,
you're out of your thinking mind, well,
right,
the thing is about meditation is that you can't. We're the brain is meant to think. Like that's what it does, right? So when we're in meditation, we can just say thinking, thinking, and then go back to following the breath.
right.
So it's just sort of like the thinking and then coming out of thinking is where creativity kind of lies, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's really interesting.
With drawing or
Well, and
anything.
also meditation offers space, and from space comes creativity. So, I do a lot of creative things. Like I'm very into creative arts, art therapy, expressive therapy. Like that's all part, and I find that very meditative. And I'm always involved in some kind of an artistic process, almost like it's the way that I can escape everyday life. Whatever demands and pressures there are. So I guess it's meditative. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a good question. I'm going to
Yeah.
think more about that one.
Yeah. Creativity as a form of nervous system regulation.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah.
Well, it does. I mean, it definitely does. When you're in a creative flow, you're regulating your nervous system.
Right.
Yeah. It's just how many different ways.
Right.
So many different ways.
So many ways.
So many ways.
Okay, I have a question for you about art.
Okay.
What's the difference between making art for a regulation and making art for an outcome?
Pressure. Making art for an outcome. It's so interesting because did you see that the American who won the figure skating, the
Oh,
girl, I can't think of her name.
no.
Well, she was skating for joy. She was skating for play. She was not skating to win a gold medal. And because she was able to just be in her play, be in her flow, be in her creativity, there was no pressure. And so it was like her essence was coming through. She was so much in the present moment. Whereas well, not if, but I have seen so many people competing in the Olympics or in other, high stakes competitions that are just so wound up and so tense. So I think it's kind of like that. It's like if you have an outcome or a deadline or something that you have to do, it's kind of like when I used to do campaigns, fundraising campaigns, I was always trying to come up with the best, most creative um, campaign, right? And it would have to be cool and it would have to like get spike people's interest. And when I pushed it too hard, it was never as good as when I just set an intention and I let it drop in and let it come out of nowhere. I would call it a brain burst. That's what I used to always call it. I would have a brain burst, but it was the pressure that kept me from really being in the flow. So it's the same thing, right? With art.
Yeah. I mean, I think that that's what Einstein used to say that he would have his best ideas when he was out rowing or doing nothing,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
like
Yeah. Yeah.
doing just letting his brain just be
Right.
relaxed.
Right. Right. It's also like the inquiry within meditation practice, like asking a question and then just letting the question be and not expecting an answer in any timely fashion. It could happen 10 years from now, or it could happen the next day, or it could happen in the middle of the night. But it's really about just opening up to an inquiry, right? So the same thing is true with
Yeah.
art. Yeah. Okay, cool.
I wrote when I make art for my weekly blog post, I lean into play.
Yeah.
And I rarely have made art for an outcome.
Okay. Yeah. I love that. That's really cool. Yeah, and don't you think that artists kind of by nature don't really want a pressure cooker? Like, I mean, it's not that they wouldn't put that on themselves. Well, I guess if you're like a graphic artist or something, you have to it's the same thing as a campaign,
Yeah.
right? But I
Yeah.
love that you're doing that with play.
Yeah. Well, that's just, I don't know. I make art to just not think,
Yeah,
you know?
which is back to meditation.
Right.
I
Right.
love that. Okay.
Okay. So
Just makes me want to go home, run home and start making art.
I know,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's all I want to do all day long.
Yeah. I love that.
Question about entrepreneurship.
Okay.
Why is creativity such an essential part of entrepreneurship, not an extra? Do you want me to answer first? You
Yeah, go
always have to
ahead.
answer first. So the heart of being an entrepreneur is trial and error.
Mm.
It just, that's, to be an entrepreneur, it is a trial and error life.
Right. Right.
And so that is also the way the dyslexic brain operates.
Mm. Okay. Yeah.
So that's why like 40% of entrepreneurs are dyslexic.
That's a high number.
And only 20% of the human race is
Oh, that's
dyslexic.
a high number.
Right.
Yeah. That's out of the box. Yeah. Ask the question again though, because now I've forgotten the question. So interested in the answer.
Why is creativity such an essential part of entrepreneurship?
Yeah.
Not an extra. Like creativity is, you know, and I feel like creativity is trial and error.
Right.
So that's how I got there.
Yeah. That's great. I mean, for me, it's almost like the what is it, the cart and the horse. So I didn't become an entrepreneur because, well, that's not true. I became an entrepreneur because I am creative, right? And the creative, I've always been an entrepreneur. Even when I worked for other people, I was always trying to figure out a way to make it. That's like, that's the juiciest part of all is the creativity. I don't know. Could you be an entrepreneur and not be creative?
Yeah.
How? Like, give me an example.
Well, if you have a specific, well, first of all, if you inherited your business,
Oh, that's true.
right, you don't necessarily,
Right. You're
it
just
might not be
skilled
your,
at something.
right, it might
Yeah.
not be your thing. So, but if you have a product that is just, you're just making this product
Right.
as an entrepreneur,
Yeah.
because you think it would sell or you
Right.
saw a gap in the market and you just do that one thing really
Yeah.
well
Yeah.
for many,
That's
many
true.
years.
Yeah, you're right. I think for me, because one of my goals, for lack of a better word, is to continue to trust my creativity as sort of like a gift from the universe, God, all that is, whatever, however you want to define it, so that I often go into my business endeavors, which are usually healing in some way, just connecting to the opening of creativity. I don't know what I'm going to do with a person if I'm in my private practice. People will say like, well, what do you do? And I'm like, well, I'll know when I get there because I will be informed by, connection, but also by my own creativity and how I'm going to use that connection. So that's really interesting. Yeah. And I guess I'm really, really committed to that because I feel like I can get in the way of that if I don't just connect in a very pure way to my creativity.
Yeah.
And then it does change my entrepreneurship, right? I never think of it that way, but it does. I have to be creative in order to do what it is that I'm setting out to do.
Yeah. I mean, I tell my massage therapist clients that they're a ball of clay to me.
Yeah.
And I'm finding where the issue is. I'm a finder. I'm not a fixer. I'm a finder. I'm like, I'll send you to a physical therapist to fix you. That's not what we're doing here.
Right.
What we're doing here is finding where the issue is in the tissue, and you're a ball of clay, and I'm just going to play until I find the problem.
Yes. That's beautiful. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm like that too. And just not just using, massage, but in all the different ways that I put together a session.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yay. Okay,
Yay.
that's good.
All right. That wraps up episode 5.
Wow, that was a quick one.
That was a quick one. We'll see you next time.
All right.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. See you.